Good morning, everybody. And let's start the day off with some Judy Moody by Megan McDonald. The Doctor is In. We are going to be reading chapters 5 and 6 today because chapter 5 is a little bit on the shorter side. So we've got MD equals Mucus Dermis. And chapter 6 is called Mr. Drybones. So let's start off with Mucus Dermis. Wednesday. Wednesday was sharing day. Judy was going to have the best share ever. She couldn't wait 2 weeks until her human body project was due. She, Judy Moody, would show and tell about Stink's belly button. Today, all she had to do was steal it, not seal it. Judy waited for Stink to go downstairs for breakfast. She tiptoed into his room, took down the box of baby stuff, grabbed Stink's belly button jar, and hid it in a secret inside pocket in her backpack. Later that day, as soon as the bell rang, Mr. Todd asked Class 3T to form a sharing circle. It was Rocky's day to share, too. And Jessica Finch. Jessica said she'd brought an especially special share. But Judy knew her belly button had to be the specialist. Rocky went first. His share was a Lego. Judy thought one Lego was boring until Rocky conducted an experiment on it. He put it in a petri dish and poured some stuff on it. The Lego turned black as dirt from all the germs on it. "Ew," said Jessica Finch. Germs. Germs made her squirm. "There's a fungus among us," said Frank. "I had lice before," said Bradley, "in my hair." "Me too," said Allison S. "Ick," said Dylan, backing away from the circle. "Millions of bacteria are on us all the time," said Rocky. "On our heads up your noses, between your toes." "That's right," said Mr. Todd. "Each one of us has our own ecosystem. We carry around millions of critters, too tiny to see." "Like a human rainforest?" asked Judy. "Exactly," said Mr. Todd. "Now, do you see why I'm always after all of you to wash your hands?" "I have something that's not germs," Jessica said. "My guinea pig. Chester was a boy, and he turned out to be a girl and had babies." Jessica Finch held up a picture. Nutmeg, Jasmine, Coco, and Cindy, short for cinnamon. The Spice Girls. And there we got Jessica Finch with all of her little guinea pig babies. "Aw," everybody said. "Cute." Judy took a look. All she could see were hairy balls. Belly buttons were way more scientific than hairballs. "Judy, did you bring anything to share?" asked Mr. Todd. "Yes," said Judy. She held the baby food jar behind her back. "See, when you're a baby and you first come out, there's a thingy attached to your belly button. Then it falls off and your mom and dad find out if you're an innie or an outie." "I'm an innie," said Frank. "Ooh, I'm a way outie," said Bradley, showing off his belly button. "Okay, 3T, keep your shirts on," said Mr. Todd. "Let Judy finish. In this jar, I have a real live belly button. No lie. I called it Mucus Dermis. It's Latin. Dermis means skin, and mucus means yuck. Yucky skin." "Where'd you get it?" asked Rocky. "Actually, it's from my very own brother, Stink Moody." "Double yuck," said Jessica Finch, squirming in a wormy way. "Let me see," said Frank Pearl. Judy passed Stink's belly button to Frank Pearl. Everybody crowded to see. "Take your seats and Judy will pass it around," said Mr. Todd. Belly buttons are also called navels, said Judy. Everybody has one, but no two are alike, just like snowflakes. Sometimes belly buttons collect lint, and in Japan, they have belly button cleaners. My dad told me. No lie. Thank you, Judy, said Mr. Todd. I think we all learned more than we ever imagined about belly buttons. Belly buttons are better than bones, said Rocky. Better than lice, said Frank. Better than hairballs, said Judy. Does your brother know you have this belly button? Asked Jessica. That's a good question. I wonder how Stink's going to react when she finds out. Maybe we can find out in Chapter 6. Chapter 6, Mr. Drybones. After sharing, Judy went out to the hall to put away her backpack. Stink was there listening right outside the classroom. Give it, said Stink, holding out his hand. Give what? I know you have it. I came to tell you. I just saw you. I overheard. You stole it, didn't you? You showed the whole entire world my belly button. There's Stink yelling at Miss Judy. Nuh-uh. Only half third grade. You owe me $1 million. Stink, we can fight later. Go back to second grade. I can't. I'm sick. My throat hurts. I think I have mumps. Made up mumps. No, for real. Stink held his neck like it really hurt. Would you say that the pain is in your larynx or your pharynx? Judy asked. Huh? Just go to the nurse, said Judy. I'm scared. Of what? Mrs. Bell. No. A shot? No. Getting lost? No, for real. Mumps? A pill? Throwing up? No. And not really. What? What are you scared of? The skeleton. In the nurse's office? Stink, it's not even real. Stink's face crumpled like he was going to cry. The office lady told me to wait until Mrs. Bell gets here, but I was in there all by myself with it. I'll take you if you promise not to be mad about the belly button. Judy got a pass from Mr. Todd, then walked Stink down the hall and around the corner of the nurse's office. Stink pointed to the skeleton in the corner. Pretend he's not there. Stink, sit on the edge of the bed. I'll be the doctor while you wait for Mrs. Bell. So, what seems to be the problem? When I woke up this morning, I just had hiccups and a loose tooth. Now, my tooth hurts. Judy picked up a flashlight from the desk and shined it in Stink's eyes. Hey, now my eyes hurt too. Does your face hurt? Nope. It's killing me. Judy cracked herself up. Let's see your throat. She shined the light down his throat. Say, ah. Glub, said Stink. Not glub, ah. Try again. Slug. Never mind, said Judy. What's wrong? Well, you don't have a frog in your throat, just a glub and a slug, Judy yelled with her head sideways, thinking. She looked Stink up and down. Do you have pain in your neck, too? Asked Stink. Just you, said Judy. She cracked herself up some more. Wait a minute. Stink, I got it. I know what you have. What? Asked Stink. Skeletonitis, said Judy. Fear of skeleton disease. Found only in second graders with glubby slugs in their throat. I can't help it. He just stares with those eyes. It's creepier than pyramid eye on that pyramid eye on a $1 bill. Stink, skeletons don't have eyes. I know. Just big spooky holes like dead people. And he's all clickety-clackety. Judy picked up a skeleton from where he was hanging in the corner. Hi, I'm Mr. Drybones. Judy clanked the skeleton's jaw open and shut. Can you call me George? See, He teaches all about your bones and stuff. Judy made the skeleton wave at Stink. Stink did not wave back. You're giving me the goosebumps. Put him back before we get into trouble. Not till he tells me some jokes. Here, I'll practice some jokes I'm learning from my human body project. Mr. Drybones likes jokes, don't you? Said Judy to the skeleton. They tickle his funny bone. Stink cracked up. What does a skeleton do for a cold? Asked Judy. What? Coffin drops. Stink laughed at that one. What do skeletons put on their mashed potatoes? Gravy? What do you call a skeleton who sleeps all day? Sleepyhead. Lazy bones. Judy cracked up. How does a skeleton pass his math test? How? He bones up on his addition and subtraction. Funny. Stink laughed and laughed. He seemed to forget all about his sore throat and fear of skeleton's disease. What does a skeleton eat for breakfast? Asked Mrs. Bell, setting her purse down on the desk. I don't know. What? Scream of wheat. Good one, said Stink. He held his stomach. He was laughing so hard. I see you've met George, said Mrs. Bell. I had to go to another school this morning, so it's just my skeleton crew here today. Hey, that's good, said Judy. I was just, helping Stink until you got here. Old Mr. Drybones is very humorous, said Mrs. Bell. She cracked herself up. Humorous? That was the name of his long bone, right here in your upper arm. Cool beans, said Judy. Oh, I get it now, said Stink, cracking up too. See, Stink, I told you he wasn't scary. Don't worry, Mrs. Bell, said to Stink. Lots of people find bones scary. Did you know even elephants are afraid of bones? Really? Asked Stink. Bones are interesting. Really? We start out with over 300 bones when we're born, and when we grow up, we have only 206, said Judy. We just learned that in Mr. Todd's class. How do we lose so many bones? Asked Stink. Some grow together, said Mrs. Bell, to hold us up, make us strong. Otherwise, we'd be like jellyfish. A jellyfish has no bones. Judy went all limp, imitating a jellyfish. See, Stink? Aren't you glad you're not a jellyfish? No, because if I were, I could sting you. So, what seems to be the problem, young man? Mrs. Bell asked Stink. I have a stomach ache. A stomach ache, said Judy. I thought you had a sore throat. I do, but now my stomach hurts from laughing. So I guess you could say your sister had you in stitches. Huh. Don't give her any ideas, said Stink. Let's just take a look at that throat, said Mrs. Bell. Say ah. Ah, said Stink. Hey, you didn't say glub or slug, said Judy. Uh-oh, said Mrs. Bell. Somebody's sick, all right. For real? Judy asked. Can I see? His throat is as red as a fire engine. Mrs. Bell took Stink's temperature with a non-cat hairy thermometer, and he has a fever. 99.9. Stink, you have all the luck, said Judy. And that is the end of chapters 5 and 6. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.